What's up, folks? David here, TexasLonghornsFans.com. We've got our last position group for the 2021 position previews and breakdowns, looking at the special teams, the kickers, the kick returners, or kick returner. Definitely, I think, the most overlooked and underappreciated group on the team. This should be a pretty short video, but a couple of interesting things I think that that this group brings unique to this year that we haven't seen in several years. So hope you enjoy the video. All right, so I think the most unique thing to consider here is that we've got seniors at the key positions. Our very own baby-faced Cameron Dicker is a senior now. Dicker, the kicker, who had the nerves of steel, the ice in his veins to hit a game-winning kick against Oklahoma as a true freshman, is now all of a sudden a senior. So, over the past 3 years, I definitely think that he has been he's not only been good enough. I think he's been really the best thing since Justin Tucker. And as long as you can have consistency and confidence in that position, that's about 90% of it or more. Here's some stats. These are just last year's stats that we'll throw up there. So, looking at the kicking and punting list, Dicker was good on 50 of 51 extra points, and he made 15 of 21 field goals, which was a drop in percentage from last year or 2019. I believe 2019 he hit about 77% of his field goals, but he also kicked more field goals this year, more attempts this year or in 2020 than he did in 2019, even though there were only 10 games in 2020. So more attempts. It was just a hair over 2 field goal attempts per game in 2020 versus 2019. So, I would rather not see him try as many field goals, right? The fewer field goals that you're trying, typically that means you don't need the field goal kicker as much. That or you're going for it on 4th down a lot. So, definitely a drop in field goal percentage. Scored 95 points, and he actually had some punting duty when Ryan Buchevsky got hurt. So, Buchevsky 39 punts with an average of 43.3, and Dicker, even though he only had 8 punts, was a little bit better than Buchevsky, with averaging 43.6 yards on the punts. So anything over 40 is good, for sure. So consistency there, I think, is the key, and just the confidence. But it's great to know that you've got a senior there who's been the number one guy for the past 3 seasons. So a lot of confidence there. And then speaking of seniors, obviously, Shark Jamison returns as the main kick returner, punt returner. And looking at what he did last year, 17 kick returns and 17 punt returns, averaging 33 yards on the kick return, which is awesome. 564, and then he had that 1 touchdown. Now, he's been good for one return for a touchdown, whether on kickoff or punt, each of the previous 3 years. So, he's good for at least one, and he's good to bust probably another 2 really, really strong returns. Punt returns, it was pretty much no effect there whatsoever. So again, confidence back there. We know what he can do. We know what he can do, with the ball in his hand. I do think I would like to see the Texas offense improve on their average possession. I believe I looked from last year, and Texas ranked, I believe it was 21st in the nation in average starting field position. So I definitely would like to see that improve. So, a lot of confidence, a lot of dynamic, talent that Jamison brings there. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of Xavier Worthy returning kicks. Now, that's just a complete guess. I don't know if he's practicing that at all, but all we've heard from multiple coaches, from multiple players, is about his speed. Now, how well does he run with the ball in his hand? How shifty is he? How patient is he to, for the blockers and to watch, lanes open up? That's a completely different, mindset and skill set than running routes and catching the ball, and then making things happen in an open field. But given all the talk about his speed, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of Xavier Worthy testing out what he can do in kick returns. I also wouldn't be surprised if we maybe saw a little bit of Bijan Robinson, even though Coach Sark has said that he would like, in an ideal situation, to get him roughly 20 to 25 touches a game. So, that could happen. I really don't want to see Bijan Robinson returning kicks, especially if he's going to be the focal point of the offense. And very likely that Bijan could creep close to or over 300 touches for the entire season, which is a big workload. So those are my predictions. Just kind of looking what's happened with these guys over the past 3 years. I mean, you're really, just in terms of impact, you're really talking about Dicker the kicker as a senior and Shark Jamison as also a senior. So a lot of confidence there. I would just like I said, I would just like to see better starting field position, especially if this offense is going to be geared toward feeding Bijan the ball and then trying to open up things on a play action pass. So you don't want to see them giving Bijan the ball just to create some space, if you're on your own 10-yard line, if you're on your own 5 or 6 or 7-yard line. Obviously he's going to be best in the open field as well. So better and better field position is just going to give this thing more and more options. If you missed any of the other position previews and breakdowns, just go to the channel, scroll down. We'll leave a preview here at the end of the video for another one. If you're just listening on the podcast, don't forget to subscribe, and you can scroll down and listen to the other episodes as well. Always appreciate the comments. Give the video a like, share it out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any others. I'll be doing the entire Game by Game season preview here this week as well. So love to see you guys on there and see what your thoughts are on that. And always check us out at TexasHornsFans.com. Appreciate it. Hook 'em.